Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you start to finish how to do the headband hats. And these hats are super cute for little babies or toddlers. I started making them when I was actually right after I had my youngest. She's so beautiful but was born like with no hair at all. Took her so long to grow hair. So what I did is I got, this is just, you want the eyelash yarn, the really fringy eyelash yarn like this. You don't want flapper yarn, you want this kind because it will all blend in. You can see how the spool itself, it all blends in. And I pick a color that looks like it could be about a natural color. This is kind of like a dirty blonde one. This one is actually Toffee Cream is the name of this one. And I run it with a corresponding color that will go good with it, which this is Bernat. I don't know the exact color, but you can see it has like the cream and the dark. And so together, they actually look really good together. Now for the headband part, I'm using Snuggle Bunny and Kitten. Snuggle Bunny, Red Heart yarn, and Kitten, just because it's super soft and fluffy, and it's going to make a very nice little headband. So what we're going to do is I like my chain cast on, so that's what we're going to start with. So start with the chain cast on. I do have individual videos to go over each step in this pattern if you do need a better reference. And actually all those links are in the description below as well. And the PDF is available on premiumknittinglooms.com, which is Cindy Woodcraft's website. Actually, before I get any farther, I'll tell you guys what loom I'm using. This is the 5/8 inch child hat loom. This makes hats for 2 to 6 years old. It has 35 pegs on it. You can purchase this loom by itself, or it's piece 3 in the adult 4-piece set. So you can purchase it in a set, or you can purchase it by itself. I like the sets. The sets are made up to where you have like an adult loom, a kid's loom. I think they all have like some type of a sock loom or something like that with it too. So they're made up very good. There's a very good variety in them. All right, finish your chain cast all the way back to your starting peg, which I just used my black peg. That way I know which one my starting peg is. That is your cast on. Of course, you will have strings hanging on the inside, and then you'll have your other strings. You want to push all this down. And now we are going to do just 3 rows of E-wrap. So you're just going to E-wrap all the way around. Take your bottom loop over the top, and then you repeat it 2 more times. 3 rows done. So you're going to take and push all that down. Take your scissors, cut some yarn off. I'll go ahead and wrap it around a couple pegs. I like to take and flip it kind of backwards. That way it doesn't come undone while I'm doing the rest. And it just kind of stays in there. And then you've done it down 3 pegs. It's not going to unravel at that point. So now you need your Red Heart Snuggle Bunny yarn, which, let me find my center pull string here. Alright, I got it. Now for this, make sure I got all those pushed down. We are going to start, which I'm just going to go because I don't have a tensioner hooked to it. But you can wrap it around your anchor peg if you want. But we're just going to E-wrap 1 row all the way around. And just like you had done before, which some of these will have more than one on them now, and that's fine. Take the bottom over the top, has 1 loop of the pink on it. I'm going to take this right here and just kind of pull that tight just to make sure I don't end up with like a bubble there. And this, however I had that hook there, we can take that down, just push that to the inside as well. Alright, for our second row, we're going to purl. So this headband part of it is going to be a garter stitch. So that first row is E-wrap, second row is going to be purl, third row is going to be E-wrap, fourth row is going to be purl, fifth row is going to be E-wrap. So we're just going to do 5 rows. I'll start out with the purl stitch, and if this isn't showing you good enough how to do it, I do have a link in the description below for more videos to show you how to do the purl stitch. So one good one. Alright, you take your hook down through the yarn, pull the working yarn up through, take everything off the peg, and then put that new loop on. And that okay, we've got 5 rows of alternating between E-wrap and purl stitch, which is called a garter stitch. So we E-wrapped a row, purled a row, E-wrapped a row, purl a row, and then E-wrapped our last row. I went ahead and cut the string. Now I'm going to go ahead and re-wrap like those first 3 pegs. So these first 3 pegs are going to have 2 on each one. And then we will take that bottom over the top just to lock that in. We'll go all the way around, taking the bottom over the top. From here on out, the pattern is very straightforward. Everything else you're just going to add your original yarn, and you will E-wrap until the hat gets the length that you want. Exact measurements and everything will be in the description, but it's really really straightforward. Alright, so now we add our yarn that we had started with again, and all we're doing is E-wrap. So we're going to go back to where our first peg was. I'm just going to hold that because I don't have a lot of pegs to go around. We just E-wrap all the way around to our starting peg. And then I'll just take this one and wrap it back a few pegs just to lock it in. Because when you do that, there's really no need. You can weave the ends in if you want, but they're not going to go anywhere because you've already got them going through a few pegs. You're just going to take the bottom over the top. At this point, you just keep E-wrapping. You E-wrap until the hat is as long as you want, and then we'll do our cast off. So we have E-wrapped our hat as long as we need it to be, and now we're just going to do your basic pull string bind off, which what you want to do is you just take your working yarn, just wrap it 1.5 times around, should be fine. And then we are going to take the working yarn, and we're going to pull it through each peg on the loom. I'm going to go all the way around till we get back to our first peg. Here's what it looks like once you have every loop done. Now we just take it all off the loom. Here's what it looks like once it's off the loom. So now you want to take that string and just pull it tight. That's why it's called a pull string. There you go. Before you get it completely closed, you want to pull it down through the middle and flip it inside out. Which your inside out is the side all your string ends are coming off of. And just pull it tight. And then you got your crochet hook, which I have 2 strands still on there. So one easy way to do it is just take one of these strands, pull through any loop, it doesn't really matter, and then just tie a knot. Now you want to make sure, if you're using a bulkier yarn, I wouldn't suggest doing this just because then there's going to be this knot at the top that'll be uncomfortable for the child. And now we've already weaved these in as we went, so all of these you can cut them down as low as you want. I do suggest taking and kind of stretching it out some before you do that, just in case. That way you're less likely to have anything flying off of it or have it coming loose. Now this one right here, I don't want to cut it. This was our cast on. So what I'll do with that one is just weave it up through some. hook it through one of these loops. I'm just weaving it through until it's up there pretty good, and then cutting it. Alright, let's flip it inside out. This is your hat. Now we have our flower. Now that you're done with your hat, we're going to add a bit of an embellishment to it. I'm just going to add a little flower, just a real easy flower to make on the 12 peg newborn booty loom by Premium Knitting Looms. It's a 5/8 inch gauge, and this one you can get an adult 4-piece set, or you can buy it by itself. So how we make this is you're going to need 2 collars. You'll need your petal collar and then your middle collar. I like to use a yarn guide that helps it go bad really quick. And of course, we need scissors, tapestry needle, and your crochet and your loom hook. I'm going to start by pulling some of this yarn down through the middle because you want a good bit of it. Since it's a 12 peg loom, we're going to be wrapping. All you got to do is look, and you can see what's exactly across from it. And all we're doing now you got your yarn down through the middle, your yarn guide. You're just going to go all the way across, and you're just going to wrap. And you can go around as many times as you'd like. It just makes it fuller. What I like to do is just keep going until everything looks really filled in and full. Which I'd say that is probably it. Let's see, how many rows do I got on here? So I've got about 5 rows, which that's normally it'll be about 5 rows. So you want to cut your yarn, take your yarn guide off. We're going to start with the end yarn because we got to anchor these in so that they don't go nowhere. So you're going to thread your tapestry needle. As you can see, it's kind of a jumbled mess on here right now, but we're going to wrap it around. We're actually going to go in between the pegs. And we're going to go up through, and we're just going to thread like this, because that's going to lock all these in so it doesn't come apart on you. Let's see. You want to make sure you get in between all of those so that the petals will be more defined, I guess. And this is just one of many ways that you can make a quick little embellishment for something that you are knitting. Okay, so I'm going to take that one down again, and that's going to be enough for that one because that's kind of locked everything in. So we're going to take that, kind of pull that tight, and now we're just going to flip this inside out. We're going to thread this one. This one just needs to go just a couple rounds. You just bring it up through. It's coming from this side over here, so you can bring it up through any one really. We're just pulling it through just to lock it in place so we can tie it off. And there we go. It's going to be kind of hard to get a knot all the way down there, but you can tighten this more once you are done. See, it's starting to take shape now. Now we got to do our collared part for the middle, and this is really where everything gets locked in. I'm just using a multi-colored yarn. Both of these are Caron Simply Soft that I'm using. It has a really nice sheen to it. And I got just a long piece here. Oh, now what do I do with my tapestry needle? Here it is. And thread your tapestry needle. And you can start anywhere, it doesn't really matter. Just go down one side, up one side, down the other. Oops. And you're going to pull it all the way through until you just have a little bit, you know, just 5-6 inches or so left, because you'll need to tie it off. And you want to leave enough to where you can use this to sew it into whatever you're making. So there you go. And I actually take and will kind of hold all this extra yarn over. Like, some of this is really long, so I'm just going to cut it and just hold this over to the side so it's sort of out of my way. And then you can tighten that up. And at this point, you just sew. And you just keep going around. As you can see, like your first round, it's not quite as, it's not going to look very full. So you're going to want to go around probably 2 times just to get this very full and everything looks even. Alright, once this is around as much as you want, it makes it filled in very nice. Just take and tie a knot. Tie a knot, which will tighten it up more once we take it off. That's just to lock it in there. And then we're just going to take our loom hook and take all of this off. Okay, so here is our flower. We're going to turn this over, make sure all these knots are tight. Make another one there, double knot it, and now we can cut the strings. You can see this one I didn't make quite as full as the other one, but there you go. And now when you're hooking it on this, since this is a garter stitch, there should be a spot where sometimes at the garter stitch, I'm not saying, okay, there's a little bit of, you might find one spot that's a little bit of a difference. That's where I like to hook it, just to cover that up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 2 of them through one spot. And then go over a bit, pull the other ones through, look at the position, make sure you like it. I think I want it up a little higher. There, that's better. I'll take and just tie a knot. And make sure it's really tight. If you get it tight enough, you can just cut the yarn there. If not, you want to weave them in. But there you go. Alright, so this is our hat when it's all done. Look down for a minute, Kiana. Alright, look over to the side so they can see how the flower looks. See, it's so cute. Alright, thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Any questions or comments, leave in the comment section below. And don't forget,
subscribe and below.